you see a picture and you're able to recognize the picture, that is reading.
All righty. Okay, so we are going to do offers, products, sales pages. You guys are more than welcome, as always, to ask me any of your questions that you have. And we are going, I'm very excited because I haven't done my Legos. Oh. Going to need to mute. There we go. I haven't done my Lego people recently. So, hey, David. So I'm excited to get to do this again because I haven't done it in a long time. So when we're talking, first we're going to start with our products. And products, we're going to use Lego pieces. Okay, so Lego pieces are, each of them is a product. And they're all different. So this one is like, I think, the front end of a spaceship. This is a longer rectangle. This is a smaller piece. But just picture Lego pieces, something we all know very, very well. In fact, some of us step on them repeatedly when they're left out in our living rooms. But think of your products as Lego pieces. And the reason for that is in Kajabi, my product, I can put them together. Like I can put two products together, which we'll get to when we get to offers, but they're still individual. They can still be separate pieces. So when you're thinking about Kajabi, when you're learning Kajabi, products are your Lego pieces. Then you have to have people that purchase your products, okay? So these are our little people. We have the Joker, a policeman, and Wonder Woman with us today. So people, because they have to buy the products. Now, wonderful little invention, clear baggies. These are your offers. Beautiful thing with Kajabi is there is no limit to how many offers you have. So I want you to think about your offers as you were given a whole box. I don't even know how many are in this bag. 38. Okay, there's 38 bags in this box, I think. But your offers are baggies, okay? And just like on the front of these baggies that I have, there's a spot to put information, okay? So when we're making offers, this is where we get to write the equivalent on the baggie. We can write the price, we can write what it is, we can write who it's for. That's our offer, okay? There's nothing in this. This is just a container, okay? And in Kajabi, I don't have to put a product in here to sell this. I can just sell this empty bag to someone. So if I was, an event ticket where there's like, I don't have a product, or a coaching session, I don't have a product to put in my bag, it doesn't matter. Kajabi, I can sell you a plain old, equivalently empty plastic bag. This is my offer. But for most of us, we're going to sell a product. So your product, just like you would in a bag, goes into your bag. So this offer contains this product, okay? Now, you go, okay, well, I want to put a bunch of different things together. So we're going to do kind of the two bookends to make it easy right now. This would be like a standalone course, okay? It's a tiny little, product, maybe, I don't know, 5-6 modules, something like that. But that, yeah.
Can I interrupt you? I'm getting a little confused. I'm wondering if you're confusing your words. When you say that the baggie is your product, do you mean product or do you mean offer?
Oh, offer. The baggie is always the offer. Sorry.
Okay, because you're saying product and then you're saying to put a product inside the product.
Oh no, put the product inside the offer bag.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, offer is the bag. Thank you. Product goes inside this bag.
Can it be a product that goes in and an offer that goes in the bag, or are we using like
Nope.
We have 5 products?
You can put more products into the same bag.
Gotcha.
Which is what I'm going to show you in just a second. So yes, I can put as many products as I want, as many as I have. I can put them all in this offer. Okay, so the offer, if we're doing a standalone course, so this would be the offer for my standalone course, my course goes into this bag. But let's say, okay, I want to run, and this is where we're going to touch on Amanda's question, when it comes to a membership. So we're going to do a different baggie, and we're going to say membership. Okay, so we're going to put a big M on it because I know you guys, it's hard to see on the video. So we'll put a big M for membership. And you say, okay, I'm going to do a product, what I call product-based membership, meaning I have a single offer like this with a single product in here, okay? One product holds all of my membership content when it is a product-based, meaning the product is my main container. That is a membership. Now, if I am running an offer-based, what I call offer-based membership, because they are two different functional things. An offer-based membership means I'm putting my content into various different products, but I'm placing them into the same membership bag. PBK is an offer-based membership. I have 27 products. They're all in this single baggie. Instead of having one massive, like there would be thousands of posts. If I had a product-based membership, I don't even have a big, maybe a really big block, like just a wooden block. That's about as big as my like product would have to be to hold all these things. But I could do that where I have one single product, just as if it was a standalone course, but I'm selling it as a membership. So it's the access to it. They don't get to own it, but it gets really, really big. So those are the most common types of products that people end up selling. So when I have my different, thank you, my assistant. Thank you. Okay. So very massive, comparatively speaking, like this would be like a standalone course. This would be if I put all my, everything was in one single product. It would just be a really hefty piece of content. Mine isn't built that way. Mine is built on offer-based because, or the Netflix model, you can think of it that way. Just a bunch of little pieces, and that way people can go in and use whatever they want. Not a right or a wrong answer, just what is right for you when you're thinking about what is it I want to build. So questions, any questions so far?
I have a question. Well, my child.
You're all good.
So offer-based membership is the baggie. You just create a membership. It has a reoccurring fee that you would set it to subscribe, like so they would get charged each month. But where do you load all of the content? Like where do you lay all the content?
In a product.
Really a product.
It has your membership will have, if you're providing content, you'll do that through products.
Okay,
So the product
membership, because there's different styles of product. There's like
there's only two different functional kinds of product. There's community. That's a completely different function. When it is ready, like when it really works, it is meant to function like a forum, like a Facebook group, like a Slack channel, like a Mighty Networks. Community is a completely different product. All other products are exactly the same. So when you go into Kajabi and it says membership product or evergreen course, what Kajabi is doing is just auto-populating a template. but there is no difference whatsoever. And I really recommend just start with a blank product, because every single person I've ever run into, they end up deleting so many things. Like, well, what do I put in here? I'm like, if you're not using it, just delete it. Well, no, it's here. I have to use it. No, it's just giving you a template. So there's only two kinds of product: community, think forum, Facebook group, entirely different. Everything else is exactly the same. Does that make sense? So when you're delivering content, most of the time it's going to be in the traditional product, whatever you want that to look like. So for instance, the free resource library that all of you have access to, the offer is the free resource library. There is a single product in that library that you have access to. So that the library is content. You have to put it into a product in order to deliver it.
Okay.
Now, you're going to have people. Okay, good segue. So we're like, oh, okay, cool. We're talking about memberships right now. So in this membership, what most people are paying for is access to the people. So I'm gonna make our membership site owner Wonder Woman. Okay, so our members are a Joker and a policewoman. So the people are your community. So this is also part of the offer for your membership. Doesn't matter what kind of membership you're using as your content structure, which is product-based, put it all into one product, or membership-based, or sorry, offer-based, put it into different products, which is total ease of use. The people are the connection piece. And here it gets tricky because they named it community. So when I say community, I'm talking about Kajabi's functional product. Our connections, okay, because I can't use the same word or it'll get completely confusing, but access to people, hanging out in a Facebook group, hanging out in a link to Mighty Networks, hanging out in a Kajabi community as a product functionality, those are your people, okay? So it's part of the offer, because if you're an active member, you get to stay hanging out with everybody. But when people stop paying, they come out of the baggie, okay? So your people, your members are in there. They're also paying for access, most likely, to the person running the group. So in this case, Wonder Woman, she's part of this because they're getting access to her. Every single group will be different in terms of who is Wonder Woman, how much access do they have, what is she doing while she's in the group. But when you're running a membership, the offer is holding the access point to the content, to the people, and to the person that's running the site, okay? So that is your membership. Now, let's say you're like, okay, well, I have my standalone course and I have my offer. Now you want to be able to display these things as a way for people to say, oh, I want to buy this baggie, or oh, I want to buy this baggie. This is where you would use a standalone page. Highly recommend using standalone pages for everything. And you can use offer cards. So if we think of this bucket, okay, because a page is nothing but a bucket. A page can hold images, a page can hold videos, a page can hold assessments. Like our pages in Kajabi are nothing but a blank bucket. So on our page that we say, okay, this is going to be my sales page or my store, whatever you want to make it, doesn't matter. I add, if I'm using offer cards, I just add this offer. So now my membership is on my page, and then I can add my course on my page. So this bucket would obviously then have, hey, will you hand me those pictures that are right up there? I love having my assistants home. Just hand it to me. Thank you. Okay, so if I'm building a page and I say, oh, I want to put, graphics on my sales page. So picture onto the sales page, okay, into here. So these are your graphics or your copy. All of this it all goes on a page. So you can obviously take off your pictures and swap them out. You can take off an offer and move it around. But at the end of the day, whatever you put on this page, it moves together. Like this just holds everything. And that makes it very easy to build. It makes it easy to put things. That's why people are always building. Like take things on your page, take them off your page, swap in a new video, swap in new text. All you're doing is moving whatever is in here on and off.
So what would be the difference of having a product that's a reoccurring fee, like a membership, versus doing it in the offer, like the baggie? Is it just the baggie is a lot easier to change?
Yep. The baggie, when it's a membership, is money per time. So this offer, when it's recurring, people are getting charged X amount of money in a finite set time frame, $30 monthly. Versus, so think of your recurring. Another good way to think about it is like a gym membership. If I join the local YMCA as a family, it's $50 a month. When I quit paying, it's gone. I don't get anything. I don't take anything with me. It's gone. But I join the gym and I say, I want to just take the spin classes. Great. $50 a month. Come take as many classes as you want. That's your membership. Versus, here we go. I want to buy the spin bike. So I have a Peloton. I bought a Peloton. I own the bike. It is in my room. I paid way more than what you would pay for a rental, So if someone's buying a standalone course, think of it as you're buying the spin bike. They own this. So once they paid for it, it stays in their library. It's not getting taken away. Recurring, you stop paying for it, you're out of the bag. Like it doesn't show up in your library anymore. You don't get it anymore. Trying to get the Joker out of here. Joker out. He has no more access to this. He does not have this offer anymore.
So is that part of the setup feature to create your offer? Or is it just automatic? Kajabi knows if they stop paying, they have access to whatever you assign to that offer.
Yeah, you set it up in Kajabi so that when they cancel the offer, you are like I set it up so I get a notification. Hey, they canceled. Stripe and PayPal will both retry the transactions. Like sometimes it'll go to charge it and the card on file needs to be updated. So Stripe and PayPal will send out, and I'm pretty sure within both of those, you can set the frequency, you can set the number of attempts. Mine on my recurring stuff is set at 3 tries. 3 tries over a week. If it doesn't go through, yep, they're going to get canceled. And then I have it set up so that using automations, when this is canceled, send me an email so that I make sure everything was deactivated. And it will give you the option, especially for recurring, only for recurring, that says, do you want to cancel them today or do you want to set the date? So if someone just made a payment and then says, I want out, I want to cancel, okay, fine, but you've already paid for the next 22 days. I would go in there and set the deactivation date as the end of that time period that they'd already paid for. So yes, in Kajabi, there's ways to set it up with automations to make sure, yep, when it's canceled, this stuff shuts down, move it out, because part of, especially for a membership, across the board, but most definitely for memberships, you want to create your cancellation process, because many, many times people will end up coming back. And my thinking is I will treat you as well as, if not better, on your way out the door than I was trying to get you in the door, because I don't know why you canceled. I don't know what happened. Right time, right place, right person always is my motto. So as people are leaving, and I go through all this in PBK membership design, is what do you want that cancellation process to be? What do you want to send them? You know, people are like, oh, you should always ask them like an exit. You're leaving. Tell me why you're leaving. Okay, well, you've spent time in my community, whatever the nature of it is. Again, you have to balance it with what is it you're providing. But for my instance, most of my members stay for years. Like they stay for a very long time. So part of my own process is each month, and I do this automatically, I set aside a percentage of money. So when someone cancels, I will look and go, okay, you know what? They've been a member for 4 years at X percent. I send a thank you gift. I send, thank you so much for spending this time with me. Here's something that I hope, you know, helps you, yada, you know, whatever it is that fits with what I offer. It fits with who I am. It's part of the cancellation process. Yes, I'm going to shut you down in Kajabi and pull you out of the Facebook group and do all of these things. But I also know that there's many times that it's not the end of the game. So Kajabi will take care of things, and you just make sure that you know this is what I want to have happen, just like you would in your launch. Like people plan their launches so well, and then it's like, oh, they canceled. How do I shut them off? How do I get them out of everything? Okay, hello. Let's put half as much thought into the cancel process that we did into the launch, and your whole business will be better because of it, because you're paying attention to it. But yeah, Kajabi takes, short answer, Kajabi takes care of it. Other questions?
I have a question. So this is where I always get a little confused. And with my plan, when I signed up, I have 5 products. When I go into my products section, when I'm in my Kajabi account, one of my products is membership, correct? And then, so what I need to know is how to best leverage those other 4. Because one would be membership, and then is one community as well, or it's not necessary to spend one of those on community?
Just a second. Let's get the whiteboard up here. It'll be easier to see if I draw it for you. Okay, so you have 5 products. So product 1, product 2, product 3, product 4, product 5. Now, your product here that you're calling membership, this is content. So another way to think of it is picture books on a bookshelf. So you have 5 different books. So this, whatever this product is, it's just your content. So if I'm a member and you say, okay, well, this is, every product is content. We're going to make product 5 community. And right now, I will tell you guys, I would not recommend using community unless you have very unique facts and circumstances, because the ability of it to generate connections, to foster people building relationships with each other, with you asking questions, if you're using it thinking this is going to work like Facebook, it does not work like Facebook at all. I have tried it myself. I've used it a couple different ways. I've used it with clients. We've canceled all of it. We've tabled it until the functionality comes out with future builds. So Kajabi laid the foundation so that it will show up on the mobile app. So the great thing is, because it's a product and the app that we all can use to get product on our phone is genius. It's absolutely genius. So that if they're getting their forum feature through community, it'll show up just like a product. However, that functionality is not there today. It's why I don't use it myself, because my Facebook group is amazing. It's awesome. We share videos, we share, take polls, we post events, we reply to each other's comments. All of that is the engagement piece happens through, for us, Facebook. It can be Slack channel. It can be Mighty Networks. I know some people use Mighty Networks. Use what's right for your people. My people, you're all on Facebook. I've tried so hard to move you off Facebook. It is impossible. I did a Mighty Network. No way, Jose. I did a Slack channel. No way, Jose. My person, someone that uses Kajabi, wants to expand, their influence and reach and all these things, you're all on Facebook. So I'm not attempting to move anybody anywhere. You have to make that decision based on your person. So all these content pieces, if the content is unique to the membership, really your membership is your offer. So my content here, I'm gonna just say this is trademark class. You know what? Nope, that's a bad idea. Hold on. We're gonna call this Kajabi class. It's a better for me. Even though it's maybe unique to the membership, the content of it is based on the thing, not the people or the access. So this membership really is more of an access term, and that matches up better with an offer. Does that answer your question, Elise?
Yeah, that answers it. So in your content, like your Kajabi class, is your content just one thing, or can you have Kajabi class and this class and this class and this class? So is it unlimited how many pieces of content you can have under your one product of membership?
Yes.
Okay.
So this, I don't have one of my law textbooks up here. So let's imagine that we're looking at a book like on its side. Okay, so this would be like the pages of a book. Okay, really, really thick textbook. Think of each chapter in the book as a category. I can add to this book anytime. So if I have lots and lots of content and I want it to all be in one book, I use categories. So the book is the equivalent of the product. The chapters are the equivalent of categories. Some Kajabi products have subcategories. So you can have a subchapter. Subcategories. And then within any of those, you can have your posts. Okay, so the posts meaning individual lessons or topics, whatever you want to look at it. When it is a product-based membership, that's saying I am building one massive book, okay? Big old book. And if I want to move that from bag to bag, that whole thing is going together. So when I was building on Kajabi, so this is, yes, no limit. You can make like I said, if I had one product with all my content in it, it would be thousands of posts big. It would be a massive, massive product. So what I did instead is I made more of a bookshelf. Okay, so here's a bookshelf. Each of these are products, equivalent of smaller books. Okay, so we have a nice little bookshelf that's our library that they're sitting on. And then as they want to, so as my person says, oh, I have an idea. How do I write a contract, Tamsin? Then they go to the shelf and pull off Bizzlebox and use it. If instead they were up here, they'd go up here and go, oh, I'm going to go to chapter 10 and find the content. So part of it is an organizing of the playroom, what's going to work best for your person. When I was building, what excited me, and I've since changed my mind as you know, life and business have all matured, I liked the idea that I could package and sell product 1 by itself as an offer, 1, that I could bundle them together and let's say sell 1, 2, and 3 together as an offer 2. And I could put 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 together as another price point, and that would be offer 3. That is how I ended up with an offer-based, or I built the Netflix model. What I did not know when I originally did this is it takes marketing and time to market all of these separately. Mm-hmm. And the upkeep of trying to write email sequences and nurture sequences and you know, people falling off here. It was so much work. I finally made the decision. My business is running me. I am not running the business any longer. So I looked really, you know, took another look at myself, had another child in the midst of all this and said, you know what? I am going to keep all my products. I've got them all just like this. Don't need to rebuild them. But the only way I will now sell them is as part of a monthly membership.
Tamsin, may I ask a question, please?
Yeah.
If we've already built a product and we want to put it into our membership, mm-hmm. can we just move it in, or do we have to rebuild it within the product that we call our membership?
Nope. That's why
thank you.
You have your baggies.
Yeah.
This is my membership offer. I built my product. This product can go in this bag. And if I had a matching corresponding piece, which I don't, so imagine I just cloned this, okay? I have 2, because this product can go anywhere I want. I can take this same product and put it in as many offers as I want. So it can be over here, being sold, however. I changed my mind 3 years later, which I did. It can still be in this bag. So products, that's the beauty, is you have unlimited copies of the same product. You just add it to the offer. So that is...
I see. Add it to the offer.
Yes. Yeah.
Not add it to the product.
But if I had built, use my block as an example. Where'd my block go? So if I built a single product, and Kimberly knows because she has access to all 27 of my courses.
They're awesome. Yeah.
If they're all in this block together, if I suddenly wanted to sell trademark class by itself, I would have to go build a product called trademark class. I can't, if I take this block because all the content is in the same book, I can't just pull those things out. I can copy them and paste them and make a new product, which is a crap load of time, a lot of time. That's where you have to look at what is the content you're providing, what plan do you have on Kajabi, where are you now? You don't have, while you can plan like, oh, I want to do all of these things, the cool thing with Kajabi is you can always change your plan. I mean, you can always move and modify things. So when you start out, you're like, okay, I'm putting my content into a single product. So I'm making, you know, a single book instead of like the whole, you know, massive, you know, medical or legal textbooks that are like this big. You make it and then you go, oh my goodness. Yeah, you know what? I have this, we'll use Sabrina as an example. So Sabrina's a PBK member, but she does interior design and now she also does tech stuff. So they're very different topics. I could use myself as an example. I have tons of legal, I have tons of business, I have tons of Kajabi. If I was like, okay, and which I did, I started with just legal. Okay, instead of going, oh, well, wow, I really like all this Kajabi stuff. I'm really good at it. Do I want to add it to that same legal book, or do I want to start a new product and put Kajabi over here and legal here? If I put it all in the same block, then this block moves as its whole piece. If it's separate pieces, I can put a piece in this bag and a piece over there, turn it off for these. There's more flexibility with the content when it's individual books or individual Lego pieces. But don't panic, because you really cannot screw this up. I mean, you can always change it. Just sometimes it might be more work than you anticipated, but you can always, you're not locked into anything ever. So, as someone who's changed her mind a few times. Speaking from experience, if I can make your life easier and tell you what I've learned so that you don't have to spend days of your life behind a computer, that is what I will do.
So is there no way to, like, let's say you got the big block, you got the big book. There's no way to just allow a person access to just a portion of it?
No.
You know, kind of like a drip, or where it's locked or unlocked, or
Yeah, you can do the, and we'll go over to the, we'll open it up on the test site. But you still have, I can delay your access. So I can say, hey, you know what? Chapter 1's coming out in week 1, and chapter 2's in week 2, and chapter 3's in week 3. I can delay your access to content. I cannot lock you in or out. You either have this product in your offer or you don't. When you can access content has to do with a timing functionality, not a permission functionality. Does that make sense? So Kajabi does not have, I think it's either Teachable or Thinkific, might be Creative Live too, where you can get access to like the first 2 lessons and then everything else is grayed out until you buy it. Kajabi does not have that functionality. Once they have permission to the product, then you can determine the timing of when things are released, but they still have this product tied to their offer.
so what if you have a lot of, I guess, 3D content that you want members to have access to, but it's not really something that you would sell? Is that something that you would still put into like a product? Give
What
them
I would do,
blog or-
I'm a huge fan, huge fan of what I call FPS, free product strategy. So if you have, and we'll say we have all this free content, all these little pieces that are all hanging out, you know, you've made PDFs, you've made templates, you've made whatever. And you're like, okay, I want people to get this, but it's not we're going to put our North Pole to New York City up because we always have to use this. So we say, okay, my lead magnet, when they opt in, when they give me their email address, this is when I want them to have access to this free content. The cool thing is you take it and you use, even when you have just one product of your 5, you put all your free content into one product. The reason for this is it puts them all in the same playpen. It lets you organize all of you, the free resource library that you have access to in Kajabi from me. It's a free product. It puts you in a product. It lets me change out the content. So I might have, which I do, if you could see behind the scenes, oh my goodness, is it a mess? So these are all categories, okay? All these different categories of free content. Well, the nice thing is I can either publish the content, which means I put a green check mark next to that category, or I put it into draft, which means you can't see it as a user. So I can turn content, like stuff that is irrelevant anymore, I just change it to draft. Now that, I have the virtual meetups, that's a category and it's published. Putting the content into a free product means your person has the power of a password. They are closer than just depending on email for them to open it. You have a way that says, hey, here's an experience of what it would be like if you purchased my product. So you're adding this different than I just delivered you a PDF. Like people will say to me, well, Tamsin, why don't you have a free upgrade? I'm like, I do. It's called the free resource library. I'm like, well, I just want that one page. I'm like, so log in, download the one page and like, go ahead. Well, can't you? I'm like, no, I'm not setting up a lead magnet to deliver this, to depend on you to open the email. That's too hard on me. Not to mention, when you purchase from me, you're going to have to go into the library. You're going to have to go through this process. So you're training them from their initial time how to engage with you in a very less overwhelming way. You need to go to your library. You need to log in. You need to press play. You need to make a comment. That you're giving them the opportunity to do exactly what they're going to do when they buy from you. So to me, it was a no-brainer. I mean, I did this completely by accident. It would have been spring of 2016 because I had an infant and a 4-year-old. I'm like, I can't keep doing what I was doing on WordPress in terms of make a PDF, provide the value upgrade, do all these, like building out all those things. I no longer had the time to pull that crap off. It's why I bought Kajabi, because Kenny built my brain 1,000%. I was like, this is what I've always wanted. A place to be like your repository, to be your own way of giving people an amazing experience in an organized way. So I'm a huge fan. Use one of your products as your lead magnet in terms of delivering your content. And there's so many creative ways to use it. Like a few people that run fitness businesses, they do quarterly meal plans. They do different exercises. So when it's winter, they'll put spring, summer, and fall to draft, and they'll only have the winter stuff available. And then they'll, spring hits, they turn off winter to draft and publish spring. So it has that way of, again, nurturing the relationship for people who are only subscribers. They're not buyers. So they're hanging out right here. They're in lead magnet world. They're not a buyer. You don't have their money, but you're still providing them the experience, the access, all of that stuff using a free product. And when it's as a product, it shows up on the mobile app. Like when the mobile app came out, when I knew it was going to be built product based, you should have heard the celebrations in PBK. I was like, you guys, we were geniuses and we didn't even know it. We're not trying to, all these lead magnets, they can now get them on their mobile phone because so many of us had used free product strategy. So our person could get everything on the mobile app instead of if I'd sent them a PDF via an email or even on a standalone page, that didn't show up in the app. So it has a lot of really strong benefits.
But their payment would be coming from the offer, not setting up the product as a reoccurring. Because when you have a product, you can assign a price or whatever. But for membership, you recommend creating an offer that's where that payment's coming from, an offer, as opposed to setting up the product with a reoccurring.
You can't set up a product with a price.
Oh, you can. Okay.
So when you're on this side, when we're over here, lead magnet, yes, you can use automations. There's different ways to get people access to the free product, but the product is always tied to an offer because A product cannot float around by itself. Products have to go into a container for me to give them to you. Whether there's a price or not, I cannot have this floating in outer space. I can't have people floating in outer space. I have to put it into a container so that I have a container. Yep, I'm carrying this around. I can give this to you. And I can take this, and when I need to, I can put it on a page. I cannot, like this product, it won't go into this container without a baggie. Won't happen. So once you want them to pay for it, then it's an offer, and you can put whatever product you want attached to that offer. So let's go into Kajabi, and I'll show you what that looks like because it'll make more sense. Okay, can you guys see Kajabi? Okay, so our product, again, that's our Lego piece or our book, whichever way makes sense for you to think about it. That can be as big as I want. I can add as many categories, I can add as many posts as I want, but once it's in there, other than copying and pasting, I can't just segment out a portion of it. If I segment out, it's a new product. So when I go to my offers, which I have unlimited offers, nobody has a ceiling on how many offers they can make. There we go. I just say, make a new offer. And if I'm doing it as my lead magnet, so it's my free product strategy, it's not my paid one. Oh my goodness, strategy, there we go. Then we'll go in, I'll see if I have something labeled free product. So we'll take this one off for right now. Click save. Then in here, I would leave it as free. Because again, I have not vetted them as a buyer. I'm using this as a functional lead magnet. I'll talk about the alternative, which you can do a paid trial, but then that becomes an intro offer because they have given you money. The minute they give you money, you're on the intro side of the line. No money and an email, you are in the lead magnet category. The goal being you want to vet them as a buyer as quickly as possible. So let's see if we have a free. No, we don't. Okay, so we'll just put this one. So here, yeah, give it to everybody. So now my baggie is the offer page. It has this product inside of it, just like that. And I can go in, I can edit the information. Again, there's multiple ways that you can get them to the free product. It will be dependent on who is your audience, what is the skill you're trying to teach them, because we're teaching behavior. Every single time they're interacting with you, you're teaching them, this is how it goes working with me. This is how we do these things. So you enter, all your information, and let's say that you want your person to go from the opt-in, they entered their name and email, you want them to just be given this offer. You don't want them to have to go to the offer checkout page. With me so far? Okay, so I could go into automations because they're going to be on the opt-in form. And what I can do is on the form, let's go to automations because I know I have a form in here. And what I would say is when I would make a new automation, and I would say when the form is submitted, where's our form? Right here, form is submitted. I would choose my opt-in lead magnet, then grant an offer, free product strategy. I can choose, do I want to send the offer being granted email, or, because that's sometimes confusing, do I want to have it trigger the email sequence that I've written? Okay. This is where the learning curve on Kajabi gets very steep, because simple metaphor. How many different ways can I get to 12? 1
12.
plus 11, 10 plus 2, 4 times 3, 6 plus 6 times 2. That's what Kajabi is on so many of these instances. There's multiple different ways to still end up with the right answer. Kimberly Jo knows this because we were just talking about it on the member call this morning. And she was like, do I do it this way? And we were all like, you can do it this way or this way or this way. And it's why I will always anchor everything. What is my or your North Pole to New York City? What is it we're trying to do? And then, because so many of us have done this for years and we've tried different things, and we know what works, what doesn't work, depending on situations, we'll say, okay, this is more streamlined. This is better for your person. So it's decision fatigue, because there's so many different ways that it can be done. It's the beauty of the system. It's also the beast of the system. So if I say, yep, send that email, perfect, click save. Now, when someone completes my opt-in form, it automatically happens that they're granted the offer that puts the product in their library. And then it's my job to tell them how to get there, what to do with it. But that's the only place they will find the content from you. Does that answer your question? Or create more questions? Which is what usually happens.
So in order for them to get that freebie content, they, prior to that, needed to get into your library, get in set up to be somebody that has access to library by, they had to have signed up. Now they have their email and a password.
Nope, when they fill out the form, Kajabi will do all that and send them the email that says, you've been granted access to this product. It includes the link to your login page. And that's where you have to, I'm gonna go back to the whiteboard, figuring out which is best for not just your person and their understanding level as they're starting to interact with your business. So in the situation I just showed you guys, this was a form. You would have it on a page. When it's submitted, so submit, automation is going to take over and grant, I'm going to call it free product strategy, okay? Which is the offer plus the product, okay? Those two things go together. Then they get, at this time, because this is all happening automatically, they're going to get the email that said, here's your new username, here's your password, go to the login page. I recommend you don't depend solely on that, because nobody reads anything, and your customer service questions will go through the roof and people will never log in. So instead, I always recommend that you have another page that is your thank you page that says, here's what to do. Make them a quick 30-second video. Go to the login page, enter your name and email, show them how to do what it is that you're asking them to do. The other way is you can send them straight to an offer. These are not the only two ways. These are the two I'm going to contrast, but there are more ways you can do this. They can go to the offer checkout. It's free. So they enter their email address. If they've already bought something from you, they are prompted, hey, your email already exists. We just need you to log in. So they log in or they enter their email, and then you set up the offer checkout page to let them create their username and password. And then you have them go to this same thank you page. So for free product, for the free Kajabi resource library, this is what I do right here. I send everybody directly to the offer checkout page because I want them to know how to operate an offer checkout page. I don't need it to be mystical in terms of they entered a name and email and they magically get this product in their library. I intentionally chose, I want you to go there. I want you to, read what's on that page. I want you to follow, like enter everything in. And then the next thing you'll see is the thank you page that tells you where to go and what to do. So there's not a right and a wrong. There's just ideal for your goals, your person, what they're comfortable with, and then making your decisions, knowing you're going to tweak stuff. I mean, you are so going to tweak stuff. But when you know what you're trying to do, it becomes easy, the decision fatigue goes down. Because otherwise it's crazy decision fatigue, and you don't know that 1 + 11 and 2 + 10 give you the same thing. You think, well, it's only 1 and 11 because you don't know all the other ways to do it. Mm-hmm. Or you go to too many things and you're like, oh, well, I could do this and this and this and this. Whoa, no. What's your North Pole to New York City? What are we trying to do? Now, here, usually, and Kimberly can attest to this, we can pretty much get it down to, here's choice A and choice B. Both of them are going to work. Which one is easiest for you to do right now? Let's make that decision, and then we'll then we'll keep moving forward.
I found that for me personally, after purchasing so many things online, we're automatically conditioned to create a username and password with pretty much anything we do nowadays. So for me, it was a lot easier to set it up the way you did than it was to try to explain the Kajabi email that sends them a username and email, because I didn't know how to answer the question. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I don't want to answer that, so I'm just going to create it where they have to fill it out. Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's kind of because it's just this random email they get and they don't know what to do with it. I don't know how to answer that question either.
No, I think there is, when their next step, if you're using something similar to free product strategy, which you would, because the only reason you can get a product is if you use an offer, is to say on that offer checkout page, this is how we're creating your account. Like, there's not a lot of online marketing gurus that are like, hey, really bring it down to a basic level. It's like, oh, we have to have all these crazy timers and all these da-da-da-da. So many people are not selling to online marketers. So what worked on stuff that we were buying is not the same as a mom buying a fitness class to use for herself. So on that offer checkout page, especially if it's a free product, walking them through, hey, now you're going to create your username and your password. It keeps them in control of something that is currently unknown to them. So I like that in most situations. Let them go to the offer checkout page. Let them, yes, you're creating your username and password. The thank you page gives you the link. This is where you're going to log in. You can log in now, or don't worry, I've sent you an email with this information. You can come back to it. So anything that keeps them in a sense of control where, oh, I did this and you're just moving me along in nice little steps is just good. And it helps alleviate the customer service end of things. So yes, otherwise it is, which is why we now have that box. We didn't used to have that box on that page that says send offer grant email. That box didn't exist 3 months ago. But because of the confusion, when it gets sent, now we have the option. Do I want to send this email or do I not want to send that generated email?
Can you remind, how do you uncheck that box again?
Which one?
The offer grant email that Kajabi automatically sends. Because if you have them create their username and password, does that even need to be in there?
No, I wouldn't say, I would uncheck it. So it had, let's see if I share. It is on the automation. So we can go right in here. So when form is submitted, grant an offer. So if I don't want it to send, I just take it off. But if I'm going this route, if I'm having a form grant the offer, they are never going to see the offer checkout page to create their username and password. They no longer have that choice. So if I'm doing where I want them to make their username and password, I need to send them to the offer checkout page. So if you go through the door of they submit a form and then magically everything happens, with one click of a button because you set up the 50 clicks behind the scenes, they don't know there's 50 clicks behind the scenes. If you want them to do their username and their password, you have to get them to the offer checkout page because the only place that it lives is on this page under edit checkout. There. That's the only way they can see it and they can stay in control. They have to get to this page. So form, automation, grant the offer, they're going to get a Kajabi username and password.
So how do you send them this route as opposed to an automation? Is it just a link?
Just give them the link.
Landing page link.
Yeah, just give them the link. So because when they come through on this page, they are going to have an offer. So you can filter them based on owning the offer. You can filter them based on access to the product. You can filter them in all the ways that you could. They just aren't coming through the form door. They're coming through the offer checkout page door. So they're going to end up in the same spot. It really has to do with what is easiest for you, what is easiest for your person. How can you bring the education up to helping them know, yep, you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this, and what you're trying to accomplish, because it's different. Anytime the facts and circumstances change, the answer has the ability to change, which is why, other than, I think the only absolute I can say is every single business has a North Pole to New York City plan, whether they call it that or not. We all have it. We don't all call it that, but we all have that. Other than that, there's not a lot of absolutes in Kajabi or with anything else, because we, in fact, we had this conversation on our call this morning, and I have the ability to use the word Kajabi because that's what people are searching for on YouTube. As long as I put Kajabi tutorial in the line of my YouTube videos, I'm going to show up. Coach Jenny, who does, personal development, she's up against the Tony Robbins and the Mel, Robbins of the world. She can't just put a word like Kajabi in a title and make it easy to find her. She can't use Hilda, which is her thought leadership, because nobody knows what Hilda is until they get to meet her. So she has to use things like get out of your own way. That's why when people say, oh, you have to do it this way, or this is the only way it works. No, it isn't. North Pole to New York City, I can get everybody on the same playing field with that, because everybody has a read magnet. Everybody should have a lead magnet. We're all selling things. That I can get you in there. But then it comes down to, what are you trying to do? Who's your person? What are your timelines? Where are we moving these pieces, so that, one, we build things in the right order? You know, very few people need to build out a complicated website. Yeah. You need a solid page that they see, that gets them to your front door, gets them to opt in. A big built out website, honestly, they're going to get lost. They're going to bounce. They're not going to sign up for anything. So don't spend 6 months building this amazingly beautiful website. Spend a day or two, build a landing page, put a form on it, and then promote and talk about and show up on podcasts. So there's a lot of strategy behind it once you know how the pieces work.
So I have a question based off of that. So
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about, on my own website, I have about 3 different free products. And the way I have it set up now is basically, do you want this? You click on the button, the call to action button, it takes you to an opt-in form, and then they get it. So that would be one of the, ways to get to 12, right? Like the 11 plus 1.
Absolutely.
Is it more advantageous for me to encourage that pathway so that they actually end up in my library? So that now, hey, you're already in, and I can now, use that to entice them. Like, hey, I got another new thing in my library. Do you want that? Is that
Yes.
a better way to go than just kind of, a one-time, hit and run kind of thing? Like, yeah, I want that, I'll take it. Obviously, I want to nurture that so they end up buying something in my intro.
Yep.
But as I'm listening to all this, I'm going, that would never really actually get them to get to a place where they create a username and password and they're in my library.
No, the free product strategy is one of the most solid, practical strategies available. Being, and this is, behind the scenes, I can put in anything that I want. So like, this is what I was saying. I have different chapters. Now, let's say for you, Elise, because you have different people. So I'm going to change these titles to parents. I'm going to click save. Because you can have one product serve different audiences. Meaning I can put it in here, and when it truly is like separate information, I can put it in. So we're going to label this one professionals. Oh, I don't want it to be the parent category. Just a second. I want it to be its own top level category. We're going to make it published. We're going to click save. So I can serve different audiences when my content is really the same, So here I've got different, I can put in different stuff for professionals. I can put in different stuff for parents. They can be in this same product. Now, when I preview the product, this is why I just love using a product. You have so much real estate. I can put buy now in the announcement bar. So if I start up here at the top and I go, oh, I can have buy now as just one of the links. Click here to purchase. They're in a free product. The next step is wherever you want them to buy. So you have the ability to use the real estate space in the header bar. You also have the ability, we're going to go back here. We're going to click edit details. Because we're going to do, oh no, not edit details. I want to go back to the product itself. Sorry, customize. I can also add, like, let's say you had something special going on, or you are in the middle of a launch, or you're speaking at an upcoming summit, like you're doing something that you want to draw attention to. You have the ability to use the announcement feature that's available in products. So you go into your product and into your header and show menu. Yep. Announcement. There we go. Show announcements. Big important thing here. You set it to a landing page, a sales page, checkout page. They can download something or a URL. Like you can send them anywhere you want. So they're in this. I almost think about it like it's a really nice playpen that you're putting everybody into. And it doesn't matter. I've been putting people into the same free product since March of 16, not in all these different forms and all these different places. Everyone is in the same spot. Now, have people left? Absolutely, because I used to only talk about legal. So people that were like, yeah, I got my, like, I don't even like Kajabi. No big deal. Leave. My playpen is not for you. My playpen is to move you to becoming a buyer. So if it's not for you, this is a wonderful way for them to figure it out. So now we go back to click save. So here, one click of a button, big important thing going on. Now should show up. Did it go? Oh, did I not click? Hold on, let's click save. Now it should show up. Why are you not showing? Oh, there it is. Huh, would help to scroll. So here they're in a product. I now have this real estate space. I have my regular header. I can put something in the hero area. I have all my content, professionals, parents. I have sidebars. I have billboard. Like think of this as billboard. I mean, this is the highest ticket real estate. They're in your product. What do you have going on? What do you want to feature? What do you want to showcase? You can do it at the product level and you can do it at the post level. So you have two different real estate sections that you can't do this with a lead magnet. Like you can't do this with a PDF download. It is impossible. But you can do all this and more in a product. And when it's a free product, they're seeing what it's like to work with. Guess what? Customer service questions are way less because they've learned it. They've taken care of it when they didn't have the stress of, oh my gosh, I bought the product and I can't find things and I don't know where it is. And buyer's remorse goes through the roof. You've taken care of all of those issues that are going to happen. You get to address them in a different way, not from a panic of, I don't know how to use the content. I don't know what to do. Da, 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 da. Yes, please send me a refund. You're addressing the, no, you're ready to take action. You're ready. It allows you to run the business because you're using a better knife to cut things. It's like,
so you're helping them to organize where their stuff is related to me versus them having to scroll back through an email and go like, oh, wait a minute. I remember I signed up for that, but I didn't have a chance to open it. Like, where was that? And so they're having to scroll back versus if they have a username and a password and they know me, they're just going to go right into my website, log in, and I'm holding all their information for them.
yes.
Whether
Yes.
it's free or paid or whatever.
Absolutely.
I love
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the best thing. I mean, it is the best tool. And because the mobile app is product based, all your free content is accessible via the app. Not
they could go back and forth, and then they can also share that with their friends from that platform as well. I mean, well, no, they couldn't share their password and their username.
No, but you can put like if your audience is great at sharing, you can have it in the sidebar, invite a friend, link that to the landing page and let them share the landing page with the opt-in form. Like there's so many ways to orchestrate the experience that you want.
Mhm.
And with the mobile app, people are on their phones, you know. I have to train you how to use the app. No problem. I will educate you. I will give you a quick video. I'll walk you through how to get it on your phone. Announcements, like the announcement feature, because you can get push notifications because it's a product. So you don't have to send them an email. I can send in the, and I'm very careful about not sending too much because I don't want people to get fatigued and then just ignore you. But if you're pushing out an announcement from the product, it comes through on their phone.
Mhm.
New content is available for you at. So you can use this in so many really freaking smart ways. And I'll take it. So PBKers use this all over the place. So few people use this because they don't understand how truly powerful it is on every single front. Not to mention on the management end of life, it's like nothing. You
So
just take.
when you edit a new announcement, it automatically pushes a notification, or is that something you have to?
Yep, you go into, let's go back over here. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna take up your guys' whole afternoon. We're talking Kajabi. I just get a little slightly excited. Kimberly knows this. I could do this all day long. Now, let's go back to products. Can you guys see Kajabi? I never know if Zoom tracks with me.
Yes.
Okay. So when you're in your product, click on more actions, announcement. Make a new announcement. Something important to say. Put in whatever I want. I can include links. I can include an image. If you're using it as a free product and you know it's going to come through as a push notification, you need to put, I'm pretty sure it's in this line, from Tamsin, because otherwise it doesn't, they need context, especially if they have lots of other people, courses that are all using Kajabi. So I'm pretty sure it's this top line. I'd have to go double check because I haven't done one in a while, but positive, it's there. It's not this, like it's not in the body here, but keep this short, like short info here. And then, yep, send an email. When I send this test email and I hit post announcement, it'll come through if they own the product over here. And I mean, Kajabi has phenomenal plans for the community product and for the mobile app that, similar to when I got Kajabi almost 5 years ago, it looks nothing like what it does now. Like leaps and bounds different. So the foundational pieces are there. It's only going to get better and slicker and crazy more powerful. So anytime you can use a product to deliver it, it's going to be available on a phone.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, there was lots of hooping and hollering when we realized in PBK that what we'd been doing for years was going to just be the most bestest thing ever on our mobile access.
So it ultimately could kind of replace the SMS platform. Mm-hmm. You don't have to have a separate SMS account and this. Mm-hmm. Eventually, Kajabi's community to grow to do that.
Yes.
Because that's the problem we see is people just don't check their emails. Mm-hmm. They sign up, but they don't read them, or it gets lost. So now the text messaging is becoming more popular, but that's about to get junk mail. It's already happening.
Yeah,
So-
it's why it's really important, even if it is slower and steadier growth. I mean, I have built a business on slow and steady going on 10 years now. To say, okay, I'm going to try and get 100,000 people on my list and cross my fingers, that I can get 1% to convert to sales. No, how about we get 1,000 really solid people and have 900 of them convert? So anytime that you're building and people are like, oh, that's too many hoops, they're going to jump through, I'm going to lose them. No, if they jump through the hoop, your chances of them moving with you are much higher. So it's definitely, you have to take that into consideration. And, Tony Robbins, he can get 1 million people on a list. I'm not Tony Robbins. I have no desire to be Tony Robbins. I am never going to have people walk on coals in my backyard. I'm never going to attend an event with 5 million of my closest friends. I can't do that. So why? I don't need to try. I need to say, this is my lifestyle. This is my set of gifts. These are the people I want to serve. How do I make the best decisions to make that happen? Because if I try and say, oh, I'm a complete failure because I don't have 1 million people on my list, I'm not, I have no desire, zilch. There's not a bone in my body that, just like I'm not a Navy SEAL, like never gonna happen. Not jumping out of a plane into like a dark, non-friendly country ever. No.
Stay in your lane, right?
Yeah, stay in your lane.
Mm-hmm.
And the tools are there. Everybody's lane can go as high, as fast as whatever you want it to, especially when you're being smart about it and you're not jumping out in and out of your lane all the time. Because when you jump, it's not one decision you have to change. It's hundreds of decisions. That's time consuming. That, it's money. Sometimes there's money consequences. So when you know how the pieces work, and you say, this is what I want to accomplish. Perfect. Let's look at the pieces available and let's see what's the best pieces for you. We definitely run them for 90 to 180 days, watching metrics, watching what's working, and then being able to make educated decisions of, you know what, this just isn't working the way I want it to. Okay, what isn't working? Do we have a ton of people opting in and no one converting? Or do we have people buying the intro product and not moving on to the New York City? That allows you to target the issues versus continually trying to treat peripheral symptoms, because that gets really tiring.
So in a nutshell, are you saying that, so one of your 5 products, one could be membership with all the content, and then another product could be all of the free offers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then you still have like 3 to play with.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep. Yeah, I am a huge.
I have 3 to play with. You probably have a lot to play with. Yeah,
I was a founder, so I have unlimited everything, which is a blessing and a curse, because you're like, oh, I can do whatever I want, which a lot of us did. So this one, I would make this my free one.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't use community. So I wouldn't use that. I would use my free one, which works on my mobile app.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're starting, I for sure would put my content into one. Be like, yep, I have one product with my content. My offer is my membership. And then see what develops. See how you want to utilize the other products. Because I can always make this product and add it to the membership bag. Make this product, add it to the membership bag. Make this product, add it over here. Or I can just keep building a big old product over here. Like I said, you can't mess it up. You can't make the wrong decision. It's impossible. It might take a little bit of work to undo something, but you're never going to mess it up.
And then on the other part of that, you can make as many offers as you want. And an offer can actually be like a product that you sell, right? It's something that you sell, but not one of your 5 products.
Mhm.
I think that's where I was getting confused. I was like, okay, is it that product that she's talking about, or this
Mm-mm.
like a whole nother product that I'm making that's for sale?
Yeah. Think
That's
of
under offer.
product as content, because the only reason to use a product is to put videos and audios and text into a way for people to watch it.
Mhm.
Product is content. So if I'm selling a coaching call, if I'm selling access to a Zoom call, if I'm selling not access to content, I can just make an offer for that. I don't have to put a product with the offer. And I can say, you know what, here's an offer, and they're going to get all 5 products. Perfect. Give them all 5. Here's another offer. They're only going to get 2 of them. Put 2 on that one. So you have exponential choices as long as you understand how the containers work.
Mhm.
Product is content, or in the case of the community, meant to be more of a forum type of a deal. It's not currently there. I have built communities and we have closed them down. We tried, like, they're just not, for most people, like 9.9 out of 10 of us, they're not functioning the way we need them to function.
Mm.
I need it. If I'm going to use it, it has got to function like my Facebook group, which we post videos, we ask each other questions, we have events, we do everything. We do everything in our Facebook group. In community, like it doesn't work.
Mhm.
And so, no, like,
That's very helpful to know, because I sit here and I lay it out and I'm like, okay, well, right out the bat, I have 2 that are taken up, membership and community. So then I feel narrowed down. So this was helpful to know that not to go that avenue of community there.
Mhm.
Kajabi. Okay, awesome.
You are so welcome. I'm going to just hit stop. I'm going to stop our streaming.